Hello. Today, I have a story to tell. A story that feels like a shadow following me. It's buried deep in my heart. So deep that sometimes I feel it never leaves. The story of room number 13. It's not just a ghost tale that ends when the telling stops. It's a part of me. A memory that changed my life. And I want you to listen. Listen until the end. Because maybe you might feel it the way I did. Back then, I was only 19. A young girl from a small village. Dreaming of a new life in the city. The city I moved to. It was quiet, but it held secrets, hidden in its dark corners. I got a room in an old dormitory, a place that seemed to have weathered countless years. Peeling yellow walls, creaking wooden floors with every step, a musty smell that clung to my skin. I remember the first day I walked in. I felt cold, but I thought it was just the weather. My room. It was on the 3rd floor, at the very end of a long hallway. Room number 13. At first, I didn't care. Number 13 was just a number. Right? I laughed to myself, thinking people who feared it were just superstitious. I unpacked my things, arranged my belongings, tried to make the room feel like home. But that first night, I couldn't sleep. Not just because of the hard bed or the flat pillow, but because of a feeling that told me I wasn't alone. That day, I met my neighbor, a guy named Eck. He seemed friendly, but his eyes, they were strange. He looked at me and said, "Don't stay up too late, okay?" His voice was soft, but firm. I smiled, thinking he was just teasing me. A newbie like me. An easy target. But his eyes, they weren't just teasing. It was like he was scared. Scared of something. And scared for me. That first night in room 13, I tossed and turned. Sounds came from the walls. They started to grow louder. Thump. Thump. Like someone was knocking. Softly, but clearly. I lay still, breathing slowly, telling myself, it's probably just old pipes, or the wind through a crack. This place is ancient. It's bound to make noises, right? But as the night deepened, the sounds grew clearer. Thump. Thump. And then they stopped. Complete silence. A silence so heavy. I felt cold. Cold from the inside. A cold I couldn't explain. The next day, I tried to forget. I told myself, It was just my imagination. I was tired from the move. Overthinking things. I went downstairs to see Aunt Somsri, the kind caretaker who always smiled. But when I asked about room 13, her smile faded. "Don't think too much, dear," she said, her voice trembling slightly. Then she quickly changed the subject. Why? Why was everyone so afraid to talk about this room? I started to wonder, but I didn't want it to consume me. I had work to do, a new life to start. The second night, it got worse. I woke up in the middle of the night. The clock by my bed read 3 a.m. The room was pitch black, but there was a breeze brushing across my face. I checked. The windows were shut tight. The door was locked. I sat frozen, looking around. And then I saw it. A dark shadow, standing in the corner of the room. It didn't move, but I felt it. It was watching me. My heart pounded. I wanted to scream, but my mouth wouldn't move. That shadow, it seemed to smile. A smile that sent chills down my spine. Then slowly, it faded away, as if it was never there. I was terrified. Truly terrified. The next day, I went to Eck, my neighbor. He was trembling when I told him. "I warned you," he said. "That room. It's not just a room," he went on. His voice hushed, like he was afraid someone might hear. He told me that 10 years ago, a woman named Nong lived in room 13. She was beautiful, stunningly so. But her life was filled with sorrow. Betrayed by her lover, abused, and one night, she died. In that room, rumors said, she took her own life. But X said, no one knew the truth, and no one wanted to know. My heart raced as I listened. It was horrifying, but I still didn't believe. Not entirely. Ghosts aren't real. I tried to laugh it off. Told myself it was just a story. But the next night, it became clearer. The knocking started again. Thump, thump. And this time, I heard a whisper. Help me. It was a woman's voice. Weak, but filled with despair. I froze. Rushed to turn on the light. But there was nothing. No one. The room was empty. But I knew I wasn't dreaming. I started having nightmares. Every night, I dreamt of a woman with long hair, wearing a white dress, her face pale, her eyes bloodshot. She stood at my door, staring at me. "Why won't you help?" she said. Her voice echoed in my head. I woke up every time, drenched in sweat. Why? Why me? I hadn't done anything. I was just a girl who'd moved here. The fear began to consume me. I couldn't sleep. Every sound in the dorm, every shadow in the room, made me jump. I started noticing things in the room, things I hadn't touched. A chair slightly moved. Fingerprints on the mirror. I told myself it was probably me. I must have forgotten. But deep down, I knew it wasn't me. I decided to find the truth. I went to the city library, dug through old records, fragile newspapers, and I found it. A story from 10 years ago. A woman named Nong died in the dormitory, room number 13. But what shocked me? She didn't kill herself. She was murdered. The details said she was stabbed. Blood pooled on the floor. But the killer was never caught. The case was buried, like no one wanted to touch it. I felt cold. My hands shook. The images in my mind were too vivid. That woman, she died in agony, and her spirit might still be here. In room 13, I returned to the dorm, my heart racing. I felt something was waiting for me. And it happened. That night, the door to my room opened on its own. Slowly, the hinges creaking. I screamed, but no one heard. That dark shadow, it appeared again. This time, it was clear. A woman, pale face, bloodshot eyes. She reached out. "Help me," she said. Her voice pierced my mind. I ran out of the room, down the stairs, out of that dorm. I didn't look back. I moved out immediately. Never went back. But the story didn't end. I started dreaming of her more often. The woman in white, standing in the dark, watching me. "Why won't you help?" Her voice haunted me. I moved to another city, far away. But the feeling, it never left. I began to wonder. Maybe she didn't want to hurt me. Maybe she just wanted me to know the truth. 3 years passed. I thought I'd forgotten, but I hadn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I still saw her. I decided to go back to that city. The dormitory was still there. but more abandoned. Cracked walls, broken windows, like no one dared stay. I asked around. No one wanted to talk about room 13. But an old man, sitting in front of a rundown house, he looked at me and said, "That woman, she's still waiting." My heart sank. He went on. He said, "Nong wasn't killed by an ordinary murderer. She was killed by someone powerful. Someone the whole town feared. And that case was buried to protect them." I was angry. Angry for her. It wasn't fair. She died with no one knowing the truth. I decided to do something. I started investigating, gathering information. I went to the old police station, requested case files, but everything was destroyed, like someone deliberately erased the evidence. I talked to people who were in the town back then. Some remembered, but no one dared speak. Everyone was afraid. Afraid of something. Afraid of a shadow bigger than them. One night, I stayed in a small hotel in that town, and I dreamt of her again. But this time, she smiled. "Thank you," she said. I woke up, feeling strange, like a weight had lifted from my chest. I felt she knew that I was trying, even if I couldn't do much. I went back to the dormitory one last time. I stood in front of room 13. The door was tightly shut. I placed flowers in front of it and whispered. I tried. I felt a cool breeze brush across my face. But this time, it wasn't cold. It was warm. Like she heard me. Like she was grateful.